Hi, it's T. Carlson here, and when it comes to me, any time is a good time for classic hard rock and heavy metal. A few of the former members of Megadeth started a new band last year called Kings of Thrash. I've actually got my shirt on right now. And essentially, they go out on tour and they play songs from the first three Megadeth albums. The lineup includes Dave Ellefson, who's the classic bassist from the band. At times, they have Chris Poland as a guest, who was the original lead guitarist for the first two studio albums and also came back for a later album. And then you have Jeff Young, who was the lead guitarist on the So Far So Good So What album. The band is filled out with vocalist guitarist Chaz Leone, who is also playing in a Megadeth tribute band, and drummer Fred Aching, who also plays with the Bullet Boys. Their first release has finally come out. This is Best of the West, Kings of Thrash, The Mega Years, live at the Whisky a Go-Go. Certainly a long enough title. Got a great shot of, all five members of the band there. That art is very nice looking. There's our spine. This is a CD-DVD set, so you get two CDs and one DVD that clocks in right about 75 minutes or so. And then this folds open. We got our credits and so forth right there. There are our discs. Again, two CDs, one DVD. Underneath the far left and far right, you have that Kings of Thrash logo under there. With the glare, it's kind of hard to see on the camera. But then under the middle disc, you have additional photos and credits. So that actually looks pretty cool right there. And this release is essentially what you'd expect. It's former Megadeth members and some other talented musicians playing a group of classic Megadeth tracks from those first three records. Again, nothing but tracks from the first three records, which are some of the hardest, heaviest, and all-around best in the Megadeth catalog. You get tracks from Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good, Peace Sells But Who's Buying, and So Far So Good So What. So some of the tracks you get on here include, Rattlehead, The Skull Beneath the Skin, Good Morning, In My Darkest Hour, Into the Lungs of Hell, Set the World Afire, Liar, Hook and Mouth, Mechanics, and even These Boots. So it is a pretty nice, diverse mix of tracks. The band is very tight, and they sound absolutely phenomenal on these tracks, really doing them justice. I always have my doubt when you have bands that do spin-offs like this and they cover the old songs, but I'm happy to say that these guys do them justice. Chaz Leone is actually a very good vocalist. Sounds a lot like Dave Mustaine in his prime, maybe a little healthier than Dave Mustaine. But, the guy's got experience from a Megadeth tribute band, so he's easily suited to the task. Fred Aching is a fantastic drummer, even gets a chance to do a solo on the release. And then, on guitar, of course, Jeff Young, phenomenal, underrated guitarist. And, rounding out the rhythm section, of course, Dave Ellefson. And this is performed in the Whisky a Go-Go, a very, tight, cramped, high-energy venue. You watch this show, there's an energetic crowd. There's people moshing, there's people crowd surfing. There's so many crowd surfers that get up on stage. Eventually, a security guard has to get on the stage and stop them from coming up. If that's not rock and roll, I don't know what is. It is an epic show, although I do have a few minor complaints with the otherwise good release. First of all, this is not the complete concert. The complete concerts that were performed on this 4-date tour that they did, I was at the one the night before they did this that was at a venue out here in Vegas called The Space. But the complete concert had all of Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good, all of So Far So Good So What, and maybe about half of the Peace Sells But Who's Buying out. This clocks in at 17 tracks, whereas the set list that they actually performed live would have been closer to about 20 tracks. So unfortunately, there are some songs missing here from the show. Two of the biggest offenders being two of my favorites, those including, Mary Jane and the cover of Anarchy in the UK, both of which came from So Far So Good So What. Another big issue, too, is that you can barely hear the audience. There's clearly a rambunctious, energetic crowd of headbangers, but when Chaz Leone asks them to make noise, you barely hear anything. Pretty much the only time you actually hear the crowd is between songs, and sometimes you have to listen pretty closely for it. The other final issue I have is that the picture quality is not that great. I think a lot of that just comes from the decision to put this on a DVD rather than a Blu-ray, because DVD is largely an antiquated format by this time. If they put this on a Blu-ray, I know it would have looked much better. But don't let this deter you. It's a great high-energy performance with killer renditions of these songs. These guys certainly do them justice. It's great to see Jeff Young back in his element where he belongs. Dave Ellefson, of course, continuing to do a myriad of projects, including one here where he's keeping the old Megadeth stuff alive. And it's even fantastic to see Chris Pullen pop up as a special guest. Great guitarist who, again, never gets the proper credit. I think any fan of Megadeth, these former members of Megadeth, thrash metal, hard rock, etc., should enjoy this CD-DVD set. Are you a fan of the Kings of Thrash? Have you had a chance to pick up this set yet or catch them in concert? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.